Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm with my pa here, my old man, Magic Moss.
Evening,
Evening, Dad. It's like 4 o'clock when we're recording this. We're getting this in before I go off playing tennis with Manny in a bit over on West Park.
Oh, lovely.
And Dad, we're going to talk about obviously the news coming out today about Nuno being made the new head coach of Tottenham Hotspur,
very nice,
a contract till 2023. We're going to talk about your thoughts on it. Also, we're going to talk about, if you're a Spurs fan watching this, what you can expect from Nuno. Thanks to everyone that's already joining the chat on time. And if you're watching this back after, I hope you enjoy the video. First off, before we get started, we have to say that this man, the Magic Man himself, you predicted the England-Germany score, did you not? And the goal scorers in order.
Yeah. Well, a bit of magic.
A bit of magic. He actually said 2-0, Sterling and Kane.
Yeah. I all run him down, but I know he'd come good in the end.
And you got it right, didn't you? Talking about Kane, obviously, Nuno Espirito Santo, Kane could be one of his players unless he leaves, which is rumoured. Dad, obviously, Nuno at Wolves for 4 years.
2 years.
4 years he was at Wolves. He was in the Championship and 3 years in the Premier League. And obviously Spurs, the Tottenham fans, have been on this manager merry-go-round for the last 67 days or whatever it is. There was a No to Nuno campaign hashtag on Twitter. A lot of the Spurs fans were very anti Nuno. We've got Lewis here that's just coming on. He's a Spurs. I think he'll do okay for us. He's a good manager. Back him. Happy, just frustrated we were getting content. Now we've got a defensive coach. Well, you say about a defensive coach, but you know, he can be, but also Wolves in the Championship in the first 2 in the Premier League were very attacking, especially on the counter-attacking. So, mate, Dad, first of all, how are you feeling about Nuno, and how happy are you for him that he's got appointment?
I'm disappointed he had to leave Wolves, but Tottenham are a nice, good side. My dad used to watch them when he lived down.
Your dad was a Tottenham fan?
Yeah, he used to Tottenham and Chelsea because I was born in Kent during the Battle of Britain. And my mum
you were born during the Battle of Britain, Dad?
No, I wasn't. I mean, the Battle of Britain was going on in Kent when I always lived there with my mum and dad.
Yeah.
And my dad was a butler. But that's another thing.
That's right. Your dad was a butler, my granddad, and Nan was a chambermaid, and they met.
That's right.
They met in service, didn't they?
Yeah.
Chambermaid. She was a lady.
Margaret.
My mum has to get it on the action.
Now there is a difference.
My mum trying to get it. She was a what, Mum?
A lady's maid.
She was a lady's maid. All right. Sorry, me and Dad are told off. Anyway, Dad. So yeah, Nuno. What are the Tottenham fans? What can Tottenham expect the fans from Nuno?
You know, we got Wolves working. He got from the first to the Premiership in the first year. So he's a good chap. I'm disappointed that he had to leave, but that's the way.
Well, we've moved on.
We've moved on now. Yeah.
We've moved on. Well, I could tell you basically, if you're a Tottenham fan watching this, obviously as Wolves fans, there was a little bit of a few Wolves fans that basically said that they wanted him to go. There was a bit of a campaign of people because the last year, to be fair, the football was dour.
But we'd lost some players.
We'd lost. You say how it is, Dad. We lost players.
Well, we
lost Jimenez.
Yeah, Jimenez and all them.
We were 6 when Jimenez got injured, but there are things that has to be said that Nuno insisted in a very small squad, and when the injuries came,
that's true.
We didn't have really the backups. Yeah. We never invested in backing up on Raul. Okay, we had Fabio, but he was a young lad, 18-year-old, one for the future.
But who brought him in?
Who brought him in?
Yes, was he with him or was it that? Who's behind him backing?
You're on about Mendes or Fosun?
Yeah. Did they bring him in or did he?
Well, they bought him for 35 million.
They run the place, I think. So I don't know. I might be wrong.
Well, Scott's got it right, actually. Scott, I don't really care. I'm all Bruno now, but I hope he don't come raining. Well, that's something, Scott. You make a really good point there, mate. We'll come on to your point in a bit about that because I I have got some thoughts on that, and it's a good point that you made, and we will come on to it. Borak said, love Nuno, wish him all the best. If you're a Tottenham fan watching this, Nuno is perceived as being quite defensive. If you watched our football for the last 18 months, probably since the pandemic hit, Wolves have been dire in terms of the football. We haven't seen that free-flowing football we saw in the Championship, in the first year in the Premier League, where we were faster counter-attacking, exciting, 1-2, touch football, overflowing, link-up play.
But we had a few injuries, didn't we?
We did. And the second year we got to the Europa League, and of course it was a 59-game season. It's the longest competitive season that any Premier League team had had. We started in July and finished in something like October. It was a 15-month season. Didn't have a lot of downtime. The injuries came. But if you're a Tottenham fan watching this, one thing that you will get from Nuno, he is a humble guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. He's a very kind of a spiritual person in a way, the way he talks and he comes out. He does not like doing press conferences. If you could avoid doing media,
well, they get 250,000 from Wolverhampton charity, eh? So that's
for the foundation.
Sort of man he is. So.
He is loved by the Wolves fans, and he was well respected and sent off. But like in terms of
move on, go on.
In terms of what you're going to get, one thing he will say and he will want from the players every day, he will want them to work really, really hard. Mom, will you stop messing with that, please? It's making such a racket. Please. She's messing with some plastic. It's so distracting. And anyway, so he will get the players working hard. He will insist on work ethic is the one thing he's going to really insist on. Yeah. And then he'll work on formations. Obviously, with the Wolves, we used to say 5 at the back and pace in attack. We were very big on counter-attacking. I don't think the Tottenham fans are going to be wanting to be a counter-attacking team, but he has played 4-2-3-1 in the past, like Valencia, Porto, 4-3-3. So he can adjust. I do think he's got a tough job at Tottenham. Matt Doherty is going to be.
I was going to mention him.
Matt Doherty's going to be overjoyed, isn't he?
Yeah, pick him.
Because
I think so.
It didn't work out for him at Tottenham last year. I know the Tottenham fans were not impressed, but he knows Nuno. Yeah. I'm still messing with the plastic. He knows Nuno very, very well. He'll be thinking, I've got a good chance of getting a starting position. And it'll be interesting to see what he does with the players. But there is a lot of speculation for Tottenham on who's going to be coming in and who's going to be going. So I think this could go one or two ways, personally. I think it could be like Jota going to Liverpool, worked out really well for Jota. He's kicked on. Or it could be like Matt Doherty going to Tottenham under Mourinho, whereas it didn't really work out. No. I hope that Nuno is a success at Tottenham because he deserves it. He's got.
We're going better than them.
And I hope we batter him at the. Sorry, Tottenham fans, for the first match of the season against Molineux. But
what a match! What a match!
That's something we'll come on to in a minute. But I do think it's always also the Tottenham job is a bit of a poison chalice. If they do not play the attacking football that the Tottenham fans want to see, if it is defensive and ultra cautious, if they don't get the results, it might be a job that could backfire on Nuno. So I'm not really sure. I think time will tell. He will give it his best go without any shadow of a doubt. But I'm on the fence on how successful. I mean, when he came into Wolves, he's on a no-brainer, really.
I think he'll do well at Tottenham, David. I think they hold him back at Wolves.
Well,
backstream.
Why do you say that?
Well, in the last 6 months,
why did they hold him back?
Why did they hold him back? Because I don't know. I think he might have known they were going to get rid of him. I don't know.
Well, it was. Well, we'll come on to that as well. But I think it could go one of ways. He's either going to be successful or it's not going to work out for him. We will come on to what Scott mentioned here, Dad. Scott said, I don't really care, just all Bruno. No, I hope he don't come right in. Let's just go on to that point from Scott, because he does make a point. I was upset that Nuno left. I was emotional about it. I think more as it was a shock because we was expecting him to be next season. I think you were upset and angry.
Yeah, I was a bit
but
upset,
I'm all Bruno as well now. We've got to get, obviously, Bruno Lage. We've got to get behind him and be really, really positive.
Yeah.
The irony is, Dad, that the first match of the season at Molineux, hopefully back with fans, hopefully a full stadium, looks like being Bruno versus Nuno.
Oh.
And I think that's going to, in a little way, overshadow the first match of the new manager with Nuno coming back.
Does, David,
And Scott's point here, I want to come on to, I hope he don't come raiding. That is something that I think is a really good point, because Nuno's got such a great connection with Wolverhampton and and the town, and also the fans.
Yeah.
And obviously, we do know it was said by mutual consent, but we do know from Tim Nash, who was on the podcast, he said that Nuno was 100% sacked and he has moved. Nuno might have a point to prove, and there's been links with him coming back for Connor Cody. Have you heard that rumour? There's been news about that he's going to come and try and get Connor Cody.
I wouldn't be surprised, David. I wouldn't probably get some of the players.
Exactly. Well, yeah, but I hope that doesn't happen, because I think if he does that, that's going to
upset everything.
It's going to upset the Wolves fans and the esteem they've got for him. It's like, well, we love you and everything, and now you're coming to try and nick all the players.
I don't think he'll do that, but yeah.
And I just think if he does that, that's not going to go down too particularly well, especially going into a brand new club. Yeah. Now, there are some people that say, Bruno Lage plays at 4 at the back. Is there a place for Connor Cody in the back 4? And I've said I think Connor Cody can do a job there, but I don't think he's that comfortable against the real top strikers like your Antonios and your Mitrovic's and anyone that sort of has got a bit of pace and bullying. I think he's great in the back 5. Maybe there's an argument he could play in that central defensive midfield role just in front. But Connor Cody is the captain of Wolves. Yeah. And I think with the transition from Nuno to Bruno, Connor Cody's got a very key role to play in galvanising and having that seamless link between the Nuno era and the Bruno era. And he's going to need Connor Cody and some of the key players to make, because if Cody goes, it's like you've lost the manager, the captain, and then
things that
Connor is very vocal, and he will. I think I don't know how much he's going to play or what Bruno Lage is going to do, but I do think he'll be important in galvanising and making sure that the dressing room are all in order going forward. I think it was a good signing that John Ruddy's re-signed as well. Even if I like
him. He's a good goalkeeper.
Well, he's good around the dressing room, isn't he? He's good around the dressing room. Yeah. So if you've got any quick questions before we finish off, Dad, I mean, we do wish Nuno well at Tottenham. Dad thinks he's going to be magic. He's going to be magic over at Tottenham. I've got my doubts on how it will work out.
Well, if he's as good as he's done with Wolves, well, that's, he's done well at Wolves.
He has, Dad.
He got in the Premiership in the first year. He has attacking football then, but he's had some bad luck. He's had some bad luck with the injuries and that. But I think myself, he probably knew, because he did look very happy on that line. I think he must have knew that he was going to get rid of him at the end of the season.
Well, I think that was a lot to do with the pandemic and the no fans, and he was away from his family.
It's true. Well, I thought he might go back.
Well, he hasn't, has he? I mean, he was linked with Crystal Palace. That fell through, I think, because of his demands. I think that was he wants all of his backroom team. Yeah. He was linked then with Everton. That fell through, and now he's at Tottenham. Tottenham is a tough place to go. Yeah. Nuno, and I spoke to someone.
As you say, David, don't work out.
I spoke with someone that was knew Nuno very, very well. Ex director of Wolves when I was doing my samosa delivery, and when I talked to him, because he was back from America, I'm not going to say the name, he did say that Nuno was incredibly grumpy outside of the training pitch. And I think over 4 years, maybe that grumpiness has gradually rolled down, and he was offered players and turned them down. He was very, very single-minded and not very flexible on quite a few things. And I think maybe after 4 years, that relationship and that friction got to a point. And, he is very single-minded. It's Nuno way or no way. And I think he doesn't, how much he bends or not, I don't know. I think with Jose Mourinho at Tottenham, it's a very similar. He's got personality, Mourinho, as you can say that, but he's single-minded as well. And Mourinho has issues sometimes with other off-field members, and maybe Nuno has that trait in him a little bit. Be interesting to see. John Dabbs has said Spurs will look to buy Neves, Cody, Adama. Adama is his number one target. Well, I've not heard that, John. Adama's been linked with loads of people. For me, I don't think as a Wolves fan we should be selling Adama. I don't think he had a great season last year. Agreed. But I do think we
had the problems with the injuries.
Exactly.
I think if they had been playing, they kept we in the league, that's in the Premiership, so that's a good sign.
I do think
with all the injuries as well.
I do think Adama's still got something. He's unlike anyone else, and I think with Jimenez back, he'll be able to feed him. And we've got to invest in another central defender. I know we've got the guy we talked about the other day. Neves appears that he's been linked strongly with Arsenal. Vitinha, we're not sure on what's happening with him. All right, Nora, they've not bought him yet. And then obviously they're looking at more forwards. Pedence, Neto's out until October. With Neto out till October, I don't think we can afford to then sell another one of our attacking players like Adama Traore. Pedence coming back from a groin injury. And then, you've got Raul Jimenez coming back from a head injury. How good is he going to be? We don't know yet. Andy Jong wants to give us a song. We'll give him a song in a minute, won't we? Before we finish off. But if you were to let one Wolves player go, and if they've got to raise the money, Dad, they have to raise 40 million out. If you were to let one player go out of Neves, Traore, and say Moutinho, but Moutinho won't raise that much money because of his age. If it was Neves or Adama, which one would you let go and which one would you keep?
I don't know. Bonanza, right? Bonanza, let him go.
Bonanza, you love Bonanza.
Oh, no, well, I'll let him go.
We're not talking about Bonanza. I've just said Neves or Adama, and you come out with Bonanza. Well, you mean Pedence. If out of the two, Neves, or who's been with us for 4 years, midfielder, hasn't really started for Portugal, or Traore, who hasn't really got on the pitch for Spain either, out of those two, which one?
I'll go on. We have Traore go.
You'd let Traore go? Yeah, you'd let Traore go. Yeah. All right. Well, I personally, I would keep Traore and keep Neves and let Neves go out the two because I think we'll bring in midfielders. Jonathan, don't shout at you. We're not shouting. He shouts at me. So, Dad, do you want to just finish off and give everyone a song because they do like your songs? They've asked for one of your songs. Look, Andy Johns wants a song from Magic Moss.
Sweet Caroline.
Da, da, da. Is that the thing that they've been singing?
Yeah.
Sweet Caroline. Da. So good.
That's what we're going to be. We're going to be so good.
And we will be getting the Magic Moss prediction for the Ukraine game. And you got any? Do you think? How far do you think England can go, Dad? Do you think we'll beat Ukraine in Rome?
Well, I hope so.
Is it coming Rome?
Yeah, I think we will do. We're 2-1 myself.
2-1, a bit more concerned, but we will get that prediction for you for the live England watch along on Saturday night.
Oh, you're gonna do it again? Oh, I might change my mind.
You might. Well, I will get it in a minute. If you got 5 minutes before I pre-record it, Dad.
Okay.
Let's go. Keith reckons let both Neves. Both go. Neves has been here long enough. Adama is consistent enough to raise his funds to improve the quality. Interesting. Ball Rotter here wants you to sing Delilah. Do you know that one?
Oh, flipping it.
You're going to go a bit.
My Delilah.
Go and have your Weetabix.
Why, Delilah? I could see that girl was good to me. Forgive me, Delilah, I couldn't take anymore.
Dad, you are a legend. Literally, you are a legend. And do not forget the dates for his 2022 UK tour will be out very soon. Where your UK tour and your album.
People want
you to do an album, Dad.
Do they?
They want you in the studio.
Oh, okay. I'll remember this word next.
Yeah, you could do with learning the words.
I'll do like those, You ever get one of those days, boy? You ever get one of those days
when nothing goes right from morning till night? You ever get one of those days?
I get up in the morning to turn the shower on. Early in the morning.
Bob. What you got? What's that? You're going to start yodeling in a minute.
Yeah.
Honestly, it always descends into a sing-along when I've got my dad on. So listen, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this one. I know you love to see him. I love to be here with you as well, Dad. And we love you to bits. And
let's hope we get back to the money with them. But look after yourselves.
We will, Dad. Look after themselves. Be careful. Do you want to give you?
Yeah, we got to get rid of this virus. It's very, very dangerous, and life is very, very precious.
Yes, it is.
I know. You got to. We only come here this one way. You don't come again. So make the most of it. Enjoy your lives.
There you go, Bruno. Justin says Bruno will carry on the dream, and there you've got lots of love for Magic Was. Thanks,
Dream.
Are we doing a full?
I want you in my arms, and I love you in my charms. Whatever I want you, all I gotta do is dream. Who sang that?
It was the Everly Brothers, Dad.
No, Roy Orbison.
Roy Orbison, Roy Orbison, the Big O.
Yeah.
One of my favourites. See all of these Magic Mosses for you, Dad. They love you.
I like Frankie Lane.
I know. Well, you'll have to get working on your words, Dad, because you can't go sweet Caroline, do, la, 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 la. You have to work on your lyrics.
Well, I don't expect you to ask me to sing a song again.
Dad, they love you singing. This is part of your charm. Like when we get together for the meetup, the members meetup as well, Dad. They want you to do a bit of a sing song with you.
Okay, I'll go.
We're organising that soon in the next few months.
Be a boozy night out.
Yeah, get him on the Palladium, says Andy Saunders. Anyway, I know that we've started talking about Nuno to Spurs and a few other things. I hope you've enjoyed it. We always try to have a little bit of fun on the channel. We do like to do things light-hearted. That's just our style. And, we love you to bits, Dad. Everyone loves you. So let's hope that England can carry on. We do wish Nuno all the best at Spurs. If you're a Spurs fan watching this, hope you've enjoyed this bit of...
we should be winning 2-0.
Yeah, we do welcome you to Molineux on the first game of next season, hopefully with the crowds. But I do... Although we love you, Nuno, we really do hope we batter Tottenham on that day, and you get a good reception as long as you don't come trying to steal the Wolves players.
That's right.
That's
what I worry about.
But I hope we just batter them on that day when they come over. I really do. Even though you
win 2-0, no problem.
Absolutely. So from myself, Dazzling Dave, and from the main man himself.
Enjoy your lives, girls.
Dad, you got to do your cue from himself, Dazzling Dave, from the main one himself. Then you say Magic Moss. And then we go Always Wolves. You got it?
Yeah.
From myself, Dazzling Dave, and the main man himself,
Magic Moss.
Always Wolves.